Welcome back to the English classroom. My name is Nisha and today's session is based on modal verbs. Hope you're enjoying and learning from all the videos. If you are, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Here is the list of modal verbs we will be discussing today. Can, could, may, might, should, must, will and would. Modal verbs are just like helping verbs be, do and have. They help the main verb and are used to express and add more meaning to a sentence. When we use a modal verb with a main verb, the main verb is always in the bare infinitive form. Yes, it may sound a little complex, but it is very easy. For example, I could take it out. Now, I will not say I could to take it out. So you drop the letter to. That is what the meaning of bare infinitive is. We will divide the modal verbs based on the purposes they serve. This video is an overview of all the modal verbs. A detailed video on modal verbs will be coming soon. The first purpose, to show ability or lack of ability. Now the modal verbs you use to show ability or the lack of ability is can or could. For example, I can read and write in English. Here, can shows us the ability that I am able to read and write in English. Second, to show something that I was able to do in the past, I use could. When I was a child, I could climb trees. This was an ability that I had in the past. Now, just as these words show ability, it can also show a lack of ability. For example, I cannot play the piano. Here, cannot is used to show the lack of ability. Modal verbs are also used to seek permission. Now, again, the modal verbs that are used to seek permission can be can, could or may. Now, there are three different ways that these modal verbs are used. We'll try to understand them better. When you are asking something very formally, in a formal situation, you use may. For example, you will say, may I come in, sir? If you want to sound more polite, you would use the word could. Could I have a glass of water, please? And in an informal setting, you can use the word can. Can I borrow your pen for a minute? This is how modal verbs can, could or may are used to seek permission. Modal verbs used to give advice. Now the modal verbs used to give advice include should and ought to. Out of this, should is the more common modal verb which is used to give advice. Now for example, you should eat healthy food. Yeah? So here you see should is used to give an advice that eating healthy food is a good idea. Second, you should brush your teeth daily. Yes, you should. Again, a good advice. Now let's see the use of ought to. Ought to is a semi-modal verb, that is, it functions sometimes as a modal verb and sometimes as the main verb. Now let us see the example of ought to. You ought to do more exercise. Again, here we are trying to say that doing more exercise is definitely a good idea and is a good advice. Modal verbs to show obligation or compulsion. For example, must or have to. Now must is usually used to show obligation, which usually comes from the speaker itself. Now for example, you must visit the doctor. Children must do their homework. Now have to is usually used in case of rules and regulations, laws, wherein there is no other choice than to follow it. Like for example, we have to wear a uniform to school. We do not have a choice. When we go to school, we have to wear a uniform. Similarly, you have to wear a helmet when you ride a bike. Again, as per the law. So here, have to is used to show obligation or compulsion. Modal verbs to show possibility. Modal verbs are might, may, could or can. Now these words are used to show how sure we are that something has happened or will happen in the near future. For example, you can catch the train tomorrow. There is a possibility that you can catch it or you may miss it. It could rain tomorrow. Yes, we can never be sure of the rains, can we? I might go to the party tonight. I'm not really sure. There is a slight possibility I may not go as well. So might here again shows possibility. She may be late today. She's not usually late, but today she may be late. Again, used to show possibility. This is how modal verbs can be used to show possibility. Let us now talk about the two most versatile modal verbs. Versatile, why? Because they have a number of uses. Here, today we will discuss a few of them. Will used to show certainty. The sun will rise again tomorrow. Aren't we very sure that's going to happen? And we're sure, right? So, will here is used to show certainty. Request. When you want to make a request to someone, you will say, will you lend me your book? Will here is used to make that request. Third, conditional. Conditional is when some terms or conditions are fulfilled. For example, if I see him, I will tell him the news. So, if I see him, only then will I tell him the news. Now, capability. Now, if you want to talk about the capability of something or someone, we will use will again. For example, this bottle will hold 2 liters of water. Now, we know that the bottle is able to hold 2 liters of water, and hence we will use will to show capability. The next one, would. Now, would again has multiple uses. We will do some of them today in this class. To make a request. Would you like to have some tea? It's a very nice way to put forward a request to someone. A hypothetical situation, a situation which is an imaginary situation or there is a slight possibility that it may happen. If I had a lot of money, if I would travel the world. So here, based on this situation, I would decide whether I would travel the world or not. Here again, would is used in this kind of a situation. To ask questions. Would you like to eat some fries? Always a good question. And the last one, advice. Now, like the other words, even would can be used to give advice here, but in a different way. If I were you, I would study hard. Imagine you have your friend has an exam tomorrow and you're telling them that it's a good idea to study. So here you would use would to give advice. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Do write to me for any videos that you would like to see on this channel. Until then, happy learning.